Art Bell in the Kingdom of Nye. From west of the Rockies at 1-800-618-8255. East of the Rockies, 1-800-825-5033. First-time callers may reach Art at 1-775-727-1222. And the wildcard line is open at 1-775-727-1295. To reach Art on the toll-free international line, call your AT&T operator and have them dial 800-893-0903. This is Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell from the Kingdom of Nye.
That would be me. Good morning, everybody. That was really something. That really was something. Now, I suppose you can do as many will do out there and are doing and just sort of blow it off as, you know, he just had a really bad nightmare. It's easier to think of it that way, right? Especially when you begin to identify with the man in more ways than one. It's always easier to blow it off. But I think it was an important story to be told, in its way every bit as important as Sarah's. And so it's been told. The reactions are absolutely amazing. West of the Rockies, call toll-free, 1-800-618-8255. Oh, Howard.
Oh,
Howard, you're not allowed to give your last name on the air, so I had to bleep that out. So
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Let's begin again. You're Howard. Where are you?
Howard from Los Angeles, KFI listener, and I discovered you when you came back these past 2 months. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, I listened to the Sarah story, and this one tonight is incredible, and it's far more reaching than my simple story, but I had the hell experience about 5 times in the past 10 years.
Most people who 5 times.
Well, it's a very
you're a slow learner. 5 times you went to hell 5 times?
Well, sir, it's a very short experience. It began when I was like this young Christian. I was way overzealous, and I kept asking God that I could have this hell experience so I could, I don't know, be better understanding or something. And I never should have done it, but after the first time it occurred the next 4 times the same way to me. And each time after the first, I had no control over when it happened, and it always scared me and troubled me. And I was like, why did I ever ask such a stupid thing?
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but after the first, say, couple of times, experiencing hell should have been enough. Well, in other words, that many times, sir.
Well, it wasn't a prolonged experience like the last story, but
just a little bit of hell.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. After the first time, it happened without me wanting it.
Anything like what he talked about?
Well, I would like I'd fall asleep in the back room or just sort of go under, and then I would be back in my waking consciousness. But I would be descending into this. It's not something. My experience was not something I could see, but it was a state of mind, and in this strange existence where.
Okay, well then apparently you were not convinced enough of what was happening to you to change your ways.
Oh no, I wasn't. It wasn't the hell experience because I was necessarily being evil or anything. I don't know why it kept happening.
Well, that's even worse.
Well,
in other words, if you don't know what you did to bring it on, and you kept getting 5 little samples, up to 5 samples of hell, you must have a lot of questions.
Well, the first time it occurred, it was because I kept asking God for it, and foolishly I shouldn't have, but it kept happening anyway. And what occurred, what happened was that
sir, I don't think it's a good idea to ask God to send you to hell. I mean, that's just probably not a good idea.
After that first time, I knew what a dumb thing it was, and when it kept occurring to me, without me even wanting it or trying it, it became a scary thing because I definitely didn't want to experience it again.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you very much. I don't know what to say. 5 times. That's definitely too many times. And asking specifically to go visit that location just isn't the brightest bulb in the room. I don't know. No matter what you believe. I mean, even if you're I guess I'm agnostic, right? But I'm not dumb enough to actually ask to go have a little visit. I might ask to visit that other place. That'd be good for a tour. But, what can you say? Some people. Wildcard line, you're on the air. Hello.
Art, am I on?
You are on the air.
Okay. I would like to ask your permission for something. You did ask me what I want to talk about, and I did want to talk about your guest, and I still would like to. But with your permission, and because I didn't mention this before.
Well, the guest, of course, is already gone.
Yeah, I know. I would like to comment on the possible explanation of the whirlpool.
Oh, the whirlpool. Yes. Have you seen it?
No, sir, I haven't. I should go to the San Diego newspapers and maybe on your website and look at it and see what we can.
This was shown, I guess, by Channel 8 in San Diego.
Oh,
okay.
My explanation is that there could be some methane hydrates, where you have CH4 surrounded by 6 hydrogen atoms that is solid at that pressure, and depending on the currents, if that were to move, and because the density is less than water.
Sir, I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What you know that in the Bermuda Triangle, the reason they thought ships sank, and you actually had an oil rig that sank because the density of the methane gas came up to the bottom of the ocean.
Well, I've heard that methane can do that, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, and the density gets less, and therefore it would sink because it's less than water. But anyway, depending on...
But how does that translate into... I could understand that as standing and moving with the ocean, as the ocean would move. But here you can clearly see the movement. Do you have a radio on there?
There's a TV on in the basement.
Okay.
Let me shut that door. I'm very sorry.
Okay, you can actually see. It's worth watching before you really comment. It's worth watching this because you can actually see at the edges of the whirlpool. You can see the way the ocean would normally be moving, and this is completely obscuring that and doing its own thing. Just absolutely impossible.
That's amazing.
With any physical law that I understand, anyway.
Anyway, I guess I should get back to what you did let me come on the air for, and that is about the near-death experience. A lot of these people have memories that the answer to the question is whether the mind or consciousness is produced by the brain or the mind. And if they are different, it would show that there's still, after the brain is dead, that there is consciousness outside the brain. And therefore, what seemed to be what your guest was talking about was that religion is really unimportant, because I guess that's man's attempt to create a relationship with God.
Well, I don't think he would say, I appreciate your call, I don't think he'd say religion is unimportant. I think he would say that an individual commitment is very important, whether it's within a specific religion or not. That's why, if you recall, he was unable to get an answer about what's the best religion. Doesn't really matter. It's what he was told. The one that gets you closest, if I heard the answer correctly.